One of the best things about being commissioned by a specific player is that they often come with their own ideas about what the piece might be. And when the Dutch pianist Ronald Brautigam asked me to write a piano concerto for him, the first thing I asked was, have you got any ideas? And he really wanted a piece that was somehow related to the northeast of Scotland, because that's where his wife comes from, and he spent many holidays there. He loves the area, the mountains, the Cairngorms. And I had been reading a wonderful book by Nan Shepherd called The Living Mountain, which is a series of descriptions of the Cairngorms based on her walking there at the beginning of the last century. Absolutely stunning writing, and I thought this would be a fantastic starting point for a piece of music. And in fact, the four movements are very closely related to her descriptions. The first movement is called Water, and in fact I went and stayed in the Cairngorms while I was writing this piece, and I made recordings of the water that was running, even when you couldn't see it, was running under the ground, and you could hear the gurgling of the water, the different sounds. And the second movement is called Sleep, and at the centre of it is the description of the writer when she fell asleep on the edge of a really steep drop and then woke up forgetting where she had fallen asleep and was staring into the abyss. So that's described in the music with a crashing piano cadenza. The third movement is called Glamoury, which means enchantment, and this was inspired by the story of a fiddler who is meant to have played at Balmoral years ago and can sometimes be heard. His ghost can be heard playing the violin. So I've used practice mutes, which means that the sound of the stringed instruments is very much less than it would normally be, and you can almost not tell where it's coming from. And the last movement is called The Tailor's Stone, which is based on the story of three tailors who decided to have a dancing competition, and in the middle of winter, and danced. The idea was to dance at three different places in the mountains, and by the time they got to the second place, they were suffering from hypothermia and in fact died, and there's a stone to mark the spot. So the music is very much starting from these images and sounds, the sounds of birds, of water, the vastness of the landscape, and also the beautiful writing of Nan Shepherd. For instance, the slow slap of a loch, the high clear trill of a rivulet, the roar of spate. On one short stretch of burn, the ear may distinguish a dozen different notes at once. I wrote 3 piano concertos within a year, around 2016, all for different pianists, and they all have different scorings. And this first one is strings and piano, and the piano part is written very much with the forte piano in mind, because that's something that Ronald Brautigam had done a lot with, and he was thinking of a piece that might also work on the forte piano. In fact, it hasn't yet been performed on the forte piano, but I think the clarity of the writing was very much informed by those sounds and by his particular style of playing. It's fantastic that it's going to be played in the UK for the first time by a Scottish pianist, Alasdair Beatson. We've actually played this piece together at the Musikdorf Ernen festival in Switzerland, where I was playing the viola and he was playing the piano. And it's great that he's going to be doing it with the Royal Northern Sinfonia. So I'm very excited about that.